Okay, so we're on our way to check out my 1975 C600. This is very similar to the one that I had driven when I was about 16-year-old as a feed truck. It has historical plates on it, which makes it cool, easy to insure. And then this is the slant bed that I ended up having built for it. You can see there's actually a Batmobile on the back of it. This is my '89 Batmobile. Has a winch on it. I have some lights on the back there. A very old axle, rear axle. So my goal is to maybe get a whole truck that's a Dodge Cumming 1-ton. And this is the back of it here. We're using loading ramps that you use from a U-Haul trailer, like a truck. So they're rated really high and the car drives up with no problems. I have to put a wedge in there. And here's the back side of it here. It's very long. Now my dream, you know, if I had the money to do it, is to buy a Dodge truck 4x4 and then be able to transfer out the rear axle and the front axle and then drop this thing. Drop it a little bit. And then I would be able to put the engine, transmission, transfer case, and just get it all set up for it to be a more modern ride. So here, I think I'm gonna have to disarm it here. I think that's right. Huh. It's just like I remembered in that truck that I drove as a feed truck. Right now, because of the height of it, it's really hard to get up in here. Now this one here too, I have not started it. Oh my God, probably in a couple months. So I'm not sure that it will start, but we'll give it a try. I had a new battery I had to put in. So let me see, I got choke. Choke is here. Let me see if we can start this. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That means the battery is dead. Well, not a problem. I'll have to tilt the cab over. I'll have to tilt it up to be able to get it to work correctly. But it's a cool old cab over. I want to modernize it. The idea was to use this to take the Batmobiles to different events. I'm not sure that that's my dream. But, there's a new stereo there under the old stereo. I did not want to mess with that dash at all. I wanted it to stay the same. So I'm going to turn this around. And I just wanted to go over this van. It's a 1975 C600. It has a gas engine in it right now, a 361 Ford that was original. Has a 5-speed transmission with a dual-speed rear axle. So it's like 10 speeds together if you had a really heavy weight. It's slow as a dog, and I already had to replace a lot of the brake system on the back, like some leaking calipers, and gave me a really good idea of how hard it is to find the parts for these old axles. So my dream on this one is to buy, say, a Dodge Ram 1-ton 4x4, and then be able to transfer everything from that onto this. So then I'd have a Cummins engine with an automatic transmission. We would have a transfer case with a 4x4 axle in the front, 4x4 in the back. It is really heavy duty right now, but it does not need to be this heavy duty for me. The spring system on here is crazy, you know, and I do not need to have that. And actually, when it has the car on there, it's not really too rough. So the idea is probably to lower it a little bit, give it a nicer look, and then the outside of the bed, I want to have it so that it's sheathed all the way around and gives it kind of like a teardrop look to it. And then if I can, if I can afford it, is to replace the engine and transmission. I did have an opportunity to replace it with a F450 system. I didn't do it because I was kind of concerned about how many miles were on those axles. They were like 184,000 miles. I'm sorry, 384,000 miles. I was told that the engine was not that old, so it was good, and it was a 7.3, and the whole thing was a 2000, which is a good year for the 7.3s. But at the last moment, I declined to do it, and I think I still have that truck available to me. But the one bad thing about it is it would not be four-wheel drive, which I'm not sure that I need four-wheel drive, because I'm not going to take it off-road. I thought it would be great if I had it, then I could just replace the front axle and be done with those, that rim pattern, So the rim pattern is 6 lug, but it's huge. It's a huge tire, so you normally would see 10 lugs on a tire that big. So it's a specialized tire. They don't make those. It's called a split rim. It's not the Widowmaker split rim, but it's still pretty bad. And the tires are, they're not usually radials or anything like that. So I definitely need to have radial tires and also have a more modern setup so that I can replace the rear end. And if I decide to go two-wheel drive, then the one I was thinking about, the F450, that would work. But and it'd actually be less to deal with because you would be taking the axle off, but still using the components from this one. Probably taking the leaf springs off too, and I think it would be fine for towing what I'm towing. And with the 7.3, there's always a question as to how long it's going to last, how good of an engine is the one that I'm looking at. I'm assured that it's in really good shape. I don't know if that's true or not, but some of the stuff, you just have to kind of weigh it with the price versus what shape you think it's in. It would be really nice to have this with the with a 5-speed, with an automatic transmission, and it would be nice to have modern brakes and tires on it. It would make a big difference in how it travels around. Now it's kind of like a 1975 dump truck is what it feels like when you're driving around. But if I were to modernize the drivetrain, then it would be a lot better. There's nothing wrong with the 361. It doesn't have very many miles on it, but it's already connected to the 5-speed transmission. And it would be kind of a pain, to try to put an automatic transmission on that. It's almost better just to pull it all out. And it's a gas engine, so I'm more interested in the diesel because it's not the horsepower, but it's the amount of torque that it has. So you'd be able to pull this around, no problem with a car on it, and then also be able to tow a trailer that might have my other Batmobile on it. And it would probably already be set up with air conditioning, that would be nice. Power steering, all the amenities that you would have with a more modern rig. So that's my thought on it. That's what I would do if money was not an issue, but it is always an issue. Once I get the 85 E350 out of here, the van, then I have a 57 GMC that I planned on bringing over and having it worked on. Doesn't need to have as much work over here as it does at a paint shop, but that's something that I would like to do next. And this one here is not the highest priority to me, but it would be nice to get it done, and I'm sure it'd be nice for him to get it out of his yard. So that's what I have with the C600, and I hope you enjoy the video. It's just, I'm into different things, and this is one of my projects. It's done, it is drivable, but we didn't complete the stacks on it, and I have to determine. I thought, well, maybe I'll just go with the carburation for right now, or fuel injection on the 361. That would make it run a lot better. But if I was taking it down to Southern California and I had a problem with the braking system, I don't even know where I could get the brakes done on it. It'd have to be like an antique trucking place, it might take forever to get the parts. And then once you get the parts, you have to look at them to see if they're actually going to work. So anyway, that's all I have. show you the dash one more time. I think it's really cool. I wish it would have started. It started 2 months ago. It's just the battery is dead. These old trucks, they start pretty easily. So thanks again for checking it out. Appreciate your time. Thanks for finding me on the channel. And hope to see you again. Thanks a lot and have a great day.